All right, folks, we're back. Thanks for watching that commercial break. We are going to be getting into the semifinals as soon as MaNa is ready. Snute came back from his BRB. This will be a PVZ best of 3. But what's really intriguing about this one, in my opinion, is this is really not going to be so much about Snute versus, or sorry, Protoss versus Zerg, and it's a lot more MaNa versus Snute. These guys have a history of playing each other where actually the history goes in the favor of MaNa. I don't think Snute's versus Protoss is bad at all. But what ends up happening a lot here is MaNa knows how to play against him really well, and unfortunately, every single time seems to just be the guy to come out ahead because of it.
Yeah, MaNa
Also,
definitely has had his historically.
Are you looking at Twitch chat, by the way? This is one of the amazing things we have to deal with. I'm like purposely not timing it out, waiting for you to see it.
You know you've made it. You know you've
Right.
made it when you get to see that.
So here's the thing, though, Pig, that you might not know. We have like 500 versions of that account banned because this guy keeps making new accounts and coming back every single day.
Well, it's like you're in preschool, right? And the kid who likes you always comes up and keeps punching you in the arm.
I know. I imagine this is the equivalent of him putting bubblegum in my hair because he thinks I'm a pretty girl. But
yeah.
Anyways, welcome back to the Corsair Cup, guys. Game number 1 in a best of 3 semifinals match. You've got this guy squaring off in the top left, just coming off of a very solid 2-1 victory. It's the Red Zerg Snute.
And his opponent down here in the bottom right-hand side, his teammate representing Team Liquid, our Blue Protoss, it is MaNa.
I probably have to set the bets since I think the mods are AFK, so give me 1 sec here.
No worries. Looks like MaNa is going to be going for a Nexus first here, guys. Does scout that hatchery first from Snute. Interestingly, MaNa did scout quite early here. So maybe actually slightly worried about a 12 pool. Maybe just wanting to get that information nice and early. Is going to actually do some cute harassment with his probe as well in that main base.
Well, actually, MaNa's been very... So again, like, this is good to scout early, and you'll find all the things you want to find against a Zerg, generally speaking, but MaNa has been very keen to always do this versus Snute. In fact, I can't even recall a single game where he didn't scout early. And it brings me back to the whole point where it's like it's MaNa versus Snute, not Protoss versus Zerg.
True that. True that. Of course, it's interesting, just in terms of the matchup in general, I have been wondering... after IAM, I mean, we saw a lot of 12 pool games in Protoss vs Zerg, and there was a lot outside of the games we cast as well. So I really wonder if that's kind of infected the meta at all from a lot of players watching those games and, you know, seeing players like Stats and Zest struggle against 12 pools and make mistakes against them. I do wonder if that's getting more and more popular. It was already something which you'd see like every second game on NA ladder because it's NA ladder. But I wonder if that's over on EU much as well right now.
Well, for MaNa's sake, open with a Zealot pretty quick is not super abnormal, but I guess really worried about just having anything out to deal with Snute coming across the map quick.
Yeah, and you know, he'll plug the wall with that later on, so I can't argue with that choice. He's going to go double Stargate, though, because he has so much gas. I think this is double Stargate Phoenix opening, like really fast. We're going to find out soon enough. He's now spending his gas. Okay, his Warp Gate research hadn't started. That's why. Okay, so this is, yeah, going to be probably just be an Oracle opening. Not really sure exactly what he has planned, but definitely a nice economic opening there for MaNa.
But this is, of course, Echo, and regardless of whether this is just an opening for the time being or not, put a pin in the fact that this could get to that really disgusting late game, which MaNa can do, by the way. I really want to emphasize that for folks. MaNa's not above playing the dirty, gross Golden Armada if he needs to.
Oh, yeah. He'll make carries if he needs to. Whoa, lots of Zerglings on the way here for Snute right now. No Overlord in position to Elevator. Oh, Snute, okay, you were saying how MaNa just knows what Snute's going to do and just counters it and beats him a lot of the time. Well, this time it looks like Snute is the one who's preemptively building Zerglings because he knows MaNa's going to go for an insanely fast third.
Well, really bad part about this too is MaNa, because of all this and because of the way he's been building and cutting corners, he doesn't actually have anything in this wall. This is not a full wall. The Lings can just go to the natural and win the game. Forget the third. The Mothership Core isn't where she needs to be. The Zealot gets around him. He kills this pylon. That's it. If he stops his Warp Gate. Oh man, the Oracle. Maybe she sees the day. There's still a lot of damage being done though.
Snute does change his mind, goes back to kill that pylon. We'll get it. We'll dive into that main base. And Yeah, this is a huge waste of mining time. Zergling's in the main. He spots the tech as well with this. So there's so many small edges that Snute gets out of finding this opening and doing this damage. The pylon at the third base looks like it's going to go down as well. Even in the main base finds another probe. Fantastic control from Snute.
Okay, so this pylon going down really sucks on top of everything else, because now there's nothing to defend the third. If Snute actually had a follow-up, like, he's not super all-in with this. He went back to droning, but if there was a follow-up with more lings coming, there'd be no overcharge to stop this. The Nexus would have gone down. Although for Snute, that may not have still been worth it. The point is, like, this is really scary for MaNa. I guarantee you he was clenching pretty hard while this was going on.
Yeah,
Well, I just got to bring this up because it is, of course, a live cast tournament where we have a stream delay on our tournament, guys, for your viewing pleasure and to prevent stream cheating. However, MaNa is streaming his matches. And while I absolutely encourage you guys all go check out his stream and watch it from his point of view, please don't bring spoilers back to the channel. You will get banned with no remorse.
Fair enough policy there. Of course, Snute now droning up freely. MaNa, you know, he does have that fast third Nexus up, so if he's given enough time, he can recover from the sloppy opening, or not sloppy, but very good opening out of Snute that's damaged him. His double Oracle's coming in, looking for damage. Gonna actually try and target down a Queen here. Very ballsy maneuver there from MaNa. Grabs a few drones, but loses the Oracle. Ooh, unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, the best part about having the two Oracles, even if they're shut down early, is that's twice the stasis traps. You actually start littering around the map. And we've seen a couple games actually won and lost because of stasis traps. Not really such an option now with only one Oracle. All the energy is going to be pretty much dedicated to Revelations going forward.
All right, MaNa knows he's in a pretty bad spot. So he's making a Warp Prism. He's making a lot of gateways. He is just going to go hard or go home. He's like, okay, I got to try and catch you off guard. I don't think I can play this out to a long game. Probably just going to go for a massive Adept Assault. He might macro out of the back of it if he keeps building probes, but definitely going to commit a huge amount to this Adept Assault.
Well, the Adepts may or may not do damage. Snute's got a lot of Hydras coming out, but they're not necessarily that great against Adepts. It's the Banelings that are going to matter the most. Also, big thank you to Combination Yantaro for the 20-month resub, and then Mr. Boris Makarov just now for 30 months. Thank you guys so much. It's almost 3 years of base trade.
Nice. Snute is going to try and scout with that Zergling. Does get shut down. MaNa, he's been very sneaky avoiding the map vision right now. He's coming across with a big amount of Adepts. That Warp Prism ready to warp in even more. What do we have right now? 5 Hydras, 13 Zerglings. Not a large amount of units for Snute, but if they're in the right position, they might be able to shut this down. MaNa doesn't see them. Oh, he doesn't shade on top of the Hydras because he doesn't have that vision anymore.
But
more Hydras pop out.
While that's going on over there, massive warping towards the third. These Hydras get picked off as soon as they're hatched, so this goes pretty poorly on this side of the map for MaNa. Or for Snute. MaNa's first attack went badly, but if these Adepts get cleaned up, he doesn't have a lot of supply. This could be game, depending if this does no more damage.
Ooh, does find 7 drone kills, but probably not as much as MaNa was looking for. He's going to keep warping in, but I feel like Snute has reached the critical mass of Hydralisks at this point.
Yeah.
And he's, oh my god, his drone count is going insane right now. He's going up to 80 workers. Look at MaNa's economy back home. He's like, I have 2.5 bases saturated and no tech. And it's like, oh, Snute's just like, I've got Banelings and Hydras and 80 drones. I'm going to kill you now.
And there's
this
no pylons between the
Snute out of
bases
control.
either. The Oracle gets picked off, no stasis trap. This game, yeah, out of control. Mothership core almost goes down. Come on, at least the overcharge fight for your life. Banelings, of course, now have speed, so a little bit of extra health makes them really hard to pick off.
Oh, yeah. GG from MaNa. He knows that one was over. Great kind of meta move there from Snute with the Zerglings. I think he read it into MaNa, just saying, you know what, I think you're going to either go for a very fast third or maybe not even have a wall up. And, you know, he really hit the jackpot there. MaNa had no idea that was coming. His Adept also bailed on the Zealot. So it was like one of those just no solid wall at the front. Being a little bit greedy, Snute capitalized and got infinitely ahead from that moment.
Yeah, the early game really threw MaNa off. I personally didn't expect him to get so badly caught, I guess, the word I'll use. Regardless, though, we do have to find out what his map selection will be. Game 2 is, of course, going to be loser's pick. Small results from the top side of the bracket to update you guys. Nurchio actually ends up defeating Namshar, who, by the way, defeated Leenox. So, nice run out of Namshar. Sad to see him lose to Nurchio.
And the map is going to be Daybreak. He's just whispered me. So
I got it.
I just want to make sure you host it so it's got the right version of the map and all that sort of stuff.
I got you, Pig. Good job. All right, so get everyone in here to the lobby.
Into the lobby, yeah. I should join you, ZvP.
So my problem with accents, while they're fun, is like I always feel like I'm teeter-tottering on racism with them. Like, how far and how thick can you make it? Yeah.
Oh, it's great, yeah.
All right, well, we're ready to go as soon as the players are good. No need for a commercial break or anything. Just make yourself referee and ask if they're ready, I guess.
Alright.
Also, sorry, another thing to update on. Man, I gotta wake up. The t-shirt thing got broken. You guys probably saw we had like t-shirts on sale for like 2 days. And unfortunately, with my contact at Twitch being busy and doing real life esports things, she wasn't available to help solve it in time. So I don't know if we're going to try and redo a holiday shirt. I might just do it again so that you have it for next year type thing. But yeah, the shirt widgets are totally broken and totally not happening right now. So I know some people were asking about like, hey, I saw the shirt thing like last week, where'd it go? It's gone because it's not working. That's pretty much what it comes down to. So the like 4 people who managed to grab a shirt, congrats. For a little while you'll be the exclusive 4. Thank you so much to Iltis77 for the 23-month resub. Ace Rage, Grip. I don't know what the Duke High ones are, but then Walgren78 donated $5.02, saying an even number. Actually, I don't think that's even an even number. Oh wait, it is. Wait, 33, yeah. 33, 66, 67 from the 1 cent. Then this makes it 69. So it's not an even number, but 69 is a pretty sweet number, bro. Either way. Thank you so much. Getting into game number 2. In the best of 3, bottom left side, he's down a game. At the moment, it's the red Protoss MaNa.
And his opponent looking very strong so far this tournament. In the top right-hand side, it is Liquid Snute.
Very nice scout out of MaNa. As expected, goes out early with the probe, and he sees the gas timing. He sees the pool timing, and because of that, he can kind of screw with the natural timing.
Yeah, I wonder if Snoot's going to go to the third base here. MaNa may just be happy to go for the regular delay here. Looks like, yeah. Ooh, nice. Oh, wow. MaNa's getting fancy here. This is so frustrating as a Zerg player. Great. Didn't even have to commit any minerals to that. Well done by MaNa.
I was kind of, part of me was hoping that like I had looked at the production tab and he'd actually thrown down a forge, because MaNa has actually done cannon rushes. Wait, what is this probe? It's just re-scouting? I don't think he's gonna put a pylon down.
You know, that is a spot which regularly does stay unscouted, so MaNa might go for the gamble and just leave that probe in that main base this entire time.
I mean, I like the idea, but the slow warp in, I feel, is just like outclassed by the warp prism. As far as timing goes. Looks like they got cleaned up by a Ling, by the way, so no speculation needed. No pylon gonna be had.
You know, Snoot's probably lost practice games against MaNa to that, and he's got all these like traumatic memories of all the dirty things MaNa's done to him, and he's like, make sure you check the corner of the base. Well, there could be a probe there.
Snoot's actually been streaming a lot recently, and a couple of times mostly been without webcam, and I wonder if this is because his web camera has been taken off of his monitor to make room for all the sticky notes he has specifically for MaNa. They put around the monitor like, make sure to scout in the bottom right of your base for daybreak. Make sure to watch out for that early probe scout on overgrowth. You know, just like specifically MaNa things.
Just MaNa things, man. That's how you prepare. Stalker first here out of MaNa, so really wanting to deny the scouting, and he is still going to be going for a Twilight Council behind this. So very curious to see what choice it is out of MaNa. You know, I kind of want to see something just like totally out of the meta, like I'm going to go for a 2-base blink timing with like, you know, just like 12 blink stalkers off 30 probes or something.
Even better, 2-base blink timing with Dark Templar.
Oh my god. Sees everything though. Snute knows what's going on.
Alright, so that's a link. That link is a fantastic scout. Thank you to Roy010 for the 10-month resubs. It's a live game, 100% due to BaseTradeTV. Keep up the good work. I don't know if 100% is accurate, but I'll take the credit. Thank you so very much. This Ling might even get a probe. Are you serious?
No, he's just gonna. I mean, he's still so annoying though. Like, this is so good from Snute. Scouts the gateway time. He sees everything. He's gonna even try to leave. He's like, let me out. doesn't quite get out of there, but Snute sees everything. He feels very comfortable right now. Notice he hasn't even put back on gas back at home. Snute only now starts mining gas again. This is insanely efficient. So Snute here, not going to be rushing up to Lair to deal with any Dark Templar. Just going to be very reliant on Spore Crawlers and having a huge mineral income so he can have extra queens, extra drones, extra fighting units. This is just such a Snute way to play. You know, often likes to cut those corners in terms of tech and really focus on that economy. And this gives him so much flexibility if he can defend the first pressure out of MaNa.
This is where I wish we'd see Xan turn a tournament, try and pull off his gasless queen spore slowing build and see how effective that would be.
That would be interesting, trying to get spores across the map to actually detect against the Dark Templar. Might be a little bit difficult, but I'm sure where there's a will, there's a way. He'd probably just bring drones, build hatcheries, and then cancel them and build a spore crawler on the hatchery. Just kind of like spread creep all over the map that way.
Wouldn't even have to do like that complicated, just like build cancel hatchery for the queen to throw a tumor down, right? Old TLO styles. Oh,
yeah.
He gets it. Okay, this is really annoying because MaNa had brought enough over to try and make sure that third base went up in a timely manner. So Snute paying him a little bit back for the natural harass he had to deal with earlier.
Snute here, getting roaches at the last possible second, literally. I kind of feel like if MaNa was maybe just a little bit like crisper with his build, he would have been able to, you know, get in here faster. But I feel like Snute here, adjusting to the fact that he knows it was a stalker opening, so he knows the tech was slightly delayed because of the bigger gas investment at the start. He's just kind of said, you know what, I can delay my defense that extra 15 seconds.
The Warp Prism micro is pretty fantastic. He keeps his DTs alive, very safe and sound. The damage was not exactly game-ending, but still nice damage out of the DTs nonetheless. He's actually going to warp in more DTs. What?
I think this is the right move, actually, because Snute is such a greedy man. Check this out. Snute's up at 66 drones. He's building 5 more. He only has 12 roaches right now. It's actually kind of hard for just 4 or 5 roaches to fight 4 DTs. So look at this. Snute's so focused on the main base. 4 DTs running into that third. No. There's no overseer. That Spore Crawler is going to go down so quickly. Snute needs to block with his drones.
It's too late.
It's too late. Oh, MaNa here with a perfect 1-2 punch, distracting the DTs in the main. The DTs on the third are going to have a party.
What's really sick is if MaNa had done this with like an empty Warp Prism, this could have been like a really greedy way to play out the same amount of damage, but now he's going to have what is possibly 4 Archons ready to go for the main army. It looks like he had to pull back from the third. He didn't get that much damage done. I thought this would be way worse.
Snute did a great job of running the drones in the main and in the third, and MaNa didn't spot the 4th base. Those DTs retreated, and they barely missed vision of that. That was a definite snipe. I actually think he could have sniped the 3rd base there as well, potentially. He might have lost the DTs for it, so I understand why he didn't go for that. But this is really unfortunate that he's letting Snute get away with so much greed. You know, if you think about MaNa's view, he only really gets a snapshot of the bases of Snute in terms of like comes in, sees some drones, doesn't get a full picture. We get to see that Snute has 3 bases fully saturated now.
The Archon damage in the heart of this Roaches was doing some fantastic splash. The bonus damage was biological too. I mean, it's MaNa. You can always rely on his Warp Prism micro. That's what he excels at, dude. He's better than most when it comes to this handle of things. But that being said, what's the follow-up, right? Like, is he ready to go for an all-in? He's setting on 3 bases. There's going to be Mutas spawning in a moment, too, so his Warp Prism won't be so reliable. I think MaNa's going to have a fantastic follow-up push. And while he didn't kill a lot of drones out of Snute, he did kill a lot of army.
You know, the only thing that Snute is missing right now is those upgrades. His Evo Chamber, his first one, is getting close to finishing now, but with Mutas already out, and he's even getting plus attack upgrades for the Mutas, which tells us that he might plan to do a big Muta swap later on in the game, which personally I think is one of the best ways to play against MaNa. I feel like MaNa's, one of his weaknesses is definitely really good Mutalisk switches. A good defense so far on these Mutas. Keep in mind, Snute only built 5 of them. Keeps them all alive, which is the perfect number to one-shot probes. So that creates a very present threat, forces cannons in all of MaNa's mineral lines, forces the Warp Prism to be very careful. That Warp Prism can't really commit until there's fighting going on elsewhere on the map. Otherwise, Snute will simply fly those Mutas home and kill it. And the Warp Prism flies into Overlord vision. Snute's Mutas have turned around and they are making a beeline towards it.
Yeah, and the worrisome thing is this Warp Prism doesn't have 2 Archons in it anymore like it did before. It's Adepts, so this won't get a lot, unfortunately. What do you think of the Storm coming up real quick behind this, though?
I think Snute's playing Ravager Ling Bane, so mostly Ling Bane focused with some Ravagers to support. I think against that, Storm's going to be pretty fantastic. The question is, can he get a 4th base up and defend it? He's going to go for that 4th now. MaNa has an insane probe count right now. Like, his main is grossly oversaturated. His natural's a little oversaturated. So I do worry a little bit that MaNa should have gone for the 4th base earlier and just built a few less probes. For him, it's really about, can I defend the next 2 minutes and get up enough Storm, enough Archons?
Well, we'll find out soon. That's a hell of a lot of Ravagers, and while their giant Kool-Aid Man bodies are certainly big, their corrosive bile damage is bigger. This is going to be enough to knock down bases. He cancels. I love that he cancels that base. There's no good way to hold on to that 4th.
Yeah, it's all about turtling right now for MaNa and playing the efficiency game. Snoot's going to have way more mining than him. He's going to have more bases to work off. But MaNa knows that he has the better long-term army if he can get enough Archons up to buffer, enough High Templar with energy. It's going to be important for him to spread these High Templar out because you can't guarantee you're going to snipe all the Banelings before they get in your army. So if all your High Templar are clumped, you do risk losing all your Storm in one fell swoop. He does have Stalkers adding in here as well, just as a good generic buffer unit, which aren't weak against Banelings. So I kind of like that here from MaNa. It also gives him flexible range damage to spar with those Ravagers.
That one moment there, by the way, that one Baneling through that storm was the most noticeable I've ever seen at 10 health affecting the speed upgrade. Storms are going to make it really troublesome for the Banelings, but as we can see, they can clearly survive the hits now, whereas they could not in the past.
MaNa desperately trying to replace these gateways back in the main and natural. Knows he's losing a lot of production right now, man.
He's dancing really well, though.
Yeah, he's buying a lot of time, which he needs to do right now.
He's also not taking
like 4,000 corrosive vials coming down.
Well, that's the thing, though. He's not taking any damage to the corrosive. This is a guy who goes out in the rain and somehow doesn't get wet. You know what I'm saying? Like, MaNa's control over this has been pretty good. He's not been taking much damage from those corrosive vials. He might finally start taking a couple of hits now, but he starts pushing into this. A lot of the Baneling's dead, going around the backside with a lot of these Lings. Overcharges alone won't cut it. Where are those Storms, Pig?
Oh, those High Templar still just nestled in the back. He is getting up to 2 Storms on most of those High Templar. So he's got about 6-7 Storms ready. Right now, though, MaNa is supply blocked. He still doesn't have a 4th base. And guess what? Snoot's got a 5th. Snute is being so patient. He knows he can't just clump up and attack in, or those Archons, that Storm will wreck him. But if he just keeps denying this 4th and just picking away and taking small trades, he can afford this, even if the unit's lost as well.
Oh, the Storm, though! Oh, man!
That's what he was looking for. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I mean, on one hand, you're like, yeah, you just killed 100 Lings, but on the other hand, you know there's another 100 on the way. Killing Lings isn't really the core of this army. It removes some of the buffer to try and get to that meteor part, to get to the Banelings, to get to the Ravagers.
Snute has enough income to build about 85 Zerglings every minute, so MaNa needs to get out there. He needs to secure that 4th base. His income is dropping exponentially. His natural is starting to mine out. His main base, like I said before, it's horribly oversaturated. He has 71 probes, but the 71 workers of Snute are almost doubly as effective right now. And oh my God, here comes a huge Baneling running on the 3rd.
He's going to help him.
Too slow to evacuate.
Yeah, he helps him with the probe problem. 21 go down. The Nexus might fall with it. Force fields actually are pretty nice at the last second out of MaNa. They trap the Banelings. The Storms are good, and he saves the base. This, by the way, is still not great for MaNa losing 21 probes, but at least he can more effectively spread the ones he has now.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one advantage is he has so many excess probes. If he just grabs probes from his net main and sends those down there, he'll be fine. He actually hasn't done that yet. A big oversight. So his 3rd is not back to full mining. It's very important he mines that gas right now. Keep in mind, with the right Storm, MaNa still has a chance here, but it really is just that, a chance. Whereas Snute right now he has money to waste. He can take a bad engagement and still be in this game.
But the problem is,
mobility.
Yeah, this is where it gets troublesome for MaNa. He's got this really awesome army that's super strong, but it can't move very fast. Responding back home, the 4th base, I think that was a kill, not a cancel. I wasn't quite sure. Storm's hitting all the Banelings and Lings. Is it going to be enough, though? Right side's got a lot of Ravagers and Banelings still waiting to come in, but MaNa cleans up the left side of the map. And I tell you, Pink, I've seen MaNa play the best when he's in his worst. And right now, MaNa is at his worst, and he's playing like a god.
Yeah, this is MaNa down to a T. No matter how bad the situation, he will keep microing everything. This Zealot counterattack on the right-hand side was super key there, because that is what distracted Snute, and it made him take a sloppy flanking engage. He engaged with only half of his army from the back, the other half on the front, came in a little bit late, and then it had to pull back out of Storms and then re-engage. So at the end of that fight, MaNa is he's killed 15,000 resources. He's only lost 9,500. Once again, though, Snoot's still way ahead in that money, but not nearly as much bank left over to burn right now.
Snoot's just loading up dollar bills into the cannons and shooting them at MaNa. Middle of the map, though, those storms are going to be super cost-effective, but a lot of these Crystal Battles are getting very close to hit these energy-based units. Templar Sentries, they don't have a lot of health. If the Banelings touch him, it's all over. He's putting all of his life in these storms. They're going to hit some of the mutas. They're going to hit some of the Banelings. Here comes the big Baneling attack, though, as he reaches in. He hits the Templar. Storms removed from the equation. Mutas now gone, but the Ravagers and the money from Snute, I think, is just a little too good. GG's get called. Snute takes a 2-0. And destroys MaNa.
GG. Snute just looking too good there, man.
You know what?
Great play. Great scouting. His early Zerglings are the hero of that story, man. He just sees everything.
Oh, yeah, that one Zergling that saw, like, everything. Absolutely. I do want to say, though, like, absolutely respect Snute. He won that game and deservedly so. But all the cool points go to MaNa, in my opinion. Like, he did so many great things with those force fields and the storms. And it's just, like, it was flashier, more awesome play. It's just unfortunate that that could not beat out the crazy economy Snute had accrued over that game. But oh, we have quite the treat, Pig. Next series is going to be Nurchio versus Alive in a TVZ.
Nice. Ooh. All right. That's going to be sick.
So we're going to get this hosted up as quick as we can. We'll get this commercial break out of the way, and we'll see you guys in 2 minutes. Don't forget to join into our giveaway we've got going on. !giveaway in chat if you need a link. We'll see you guys soon.